Hello, welcome to One Africa Mission with your brother Dobia Anzanse. Please, if you are joining us for the first time, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, One Africa Mission, and also follow us on Facebook, One Africa Mission. We are missionaries, we are young Africans, and our mission is all about the unification of the African continent. Our mission is all about bringing back the dignity of the African race, because we believe that without unity, we can never get our dignity. But with unity, we can have back our dignity as children of Africa. All over the world, when you go around the world, the only people that are being disrespected, that are being marginalized, are the children of the African continent. And yet, we have the most resources. We have the best resources in the world, both natural resources and the human resources. All over the world, you see African children participating and contributing to the development of other countries, other nations, while our continent, Africa, the citizens are languishing in poverty. Why are we languishing in poverty? It is because the resources of Africa are not benefiting the children of Africa. Why is it not benefiting the children of Africa? It's because we are weak, we are not strong, and our strength will only come from our unity. Remember, the founding fathers of America realized that without unity, they can never achieve anything. That was the reason why they had to fight a civil war to bring 50 states together. And today, that one nation that they are able to fight to bring together is the most powerful nation on this planet Earth. Militarily, financially, politically, they are the most powerful nation on this planet Earth. So imagine 54 states in Africa. If we can put aside our differences, yes, we have differences, no doubt about that. But imagine if we can put aside our differences for the collective good of all of us. Imagine if we can bring all these 54 states together and create one military. Is there any military that can defeat us? No. If we can bring it together and create one passport, is there any passport that can be stronger than ours? No. If we can bring it together and have one governmental system, is there any president that can be stronger than our president? No. Is there any currency that can be stronger than the African currency? No. So please, that is why we are here, because we are a young generation of Africans, and we have realized that the only way we can also be respected all over the world is to bring Africans together, is to form a United States of Africa, as our founding fathers wanted to do. They couldn't achieve it, but it is our duty today to work tirelessly hard to see a united Africa. That is why we are here in One Africa Mission. We are missionaries, and our mission is all about the unification of Africa. So please, if you haven't joined our mission yet, please contact us send us email african1today@gmail.com, african1today@gmail.com, so that we can add you to our mission. We are missionaries. We are determined to go into evangelism, to conscientize the mind of our people, to see the need for unity as African children. So please join our mission, and also please try and subscribe to our YouTube channel, One Africa Mission. And also follow us on Facebook, One Africa Mission, so that together we can help build, or we can help leave a better Africa for the next generation of Africans. As I keep saying all the time, we cannot blame our ancestors for the Africa that we inherited from them, but we will blame ourselves if we still leave the same Africa for the next generation of Africans. Because me and you today, we are not happy about the Africa that we inherited from our ancestors. We are not happy with that Africa. Me and you know that you are not happy with this Africa, an Africa where all over the world we are being disrespected, an Africa where Africans are denying themselves, they are denying their identity. And that is what we're going to talk about today. Africans are denying their identity, even in the continent of Africa and outside of Africa. Why? Because of our position today. So please, let us not leave the same Africa that we inherited from our ancestors for the next generation of Africans. I said it and I will repeat it again. We cannot blame our ancestors for the Africa that we inherited from them. They didn't know better. But today, in this 21st century, me and you, we know better. And then we have to leave a better Africa for the next generation of Africans. How do we do that? It's by uniting the continent of Africa. It's by making Africa strong. And our strength will only come from our unity. United we stand, divided we fall. So I thank you very much for coming around. I want us to go, as we are talking, to Mauritius and watch this video as our beautiful queen is talking about how the people of the citizens of the state of Mauritius, I'm calling it state because if Africa is finally united, all these countries will be called states, just as America, all those countries are called state. State of California, state of New York, and whatever. All Mauritius, Ghana, Namibia, Congo, Ethiopia, they will all become states, and they will be stronger and beautiful than they are today if we are united. So we are going to the state of Mauritius, and then we're going to listen to this, our beautiful sister, how she's so heartbroken to see citizens of the state of Mauritius denying their Africanness. Why are they denying it? Let's listen to her.
The weirdest video on my For You page, and I wanted to discuss because it annoyed me that much. Basically, it's this, I think she's Australian Mauritian girl talking about the annoying experience that every Mauritian has when you're trying to explain to people where you're actually from and, you know, about Mauritius. My issue is not with the video is fine. My issue with that is that in the comments, there's some weird stuff going down. Basically, in the comments, people are addressing with the creator that Mauritius is part of Africa. It's in Africa, which is correct. However, this girl seems to have a massive issue with that and is in the comments basically trying to distance Mauritius from Africa, which is super weird behavior for a few reasons. The first being that Mauritius is part of Africa. It is an African country. It is part of the African continent. It is considered as that. A quick Google search will tell you that. There's no disputing that. I'm not sure why she has this big issue with it. Mauritius has even won titles like safest country in Africa and things like that. Secondly, it's weird because Mauritius has strong ties to mainland Africa historically. There are Mauritians whose heritage ancestry goes back to mainland Africa because Mauritius had African slaves. It had slaves brought in, and that is what the country was built off. We should never forget that. And because of that history, things that we cherish within our culture, such as our Sega music and our Sega dance, actually come directly from those slaves. Those slaves that, you know, you're trying to distance yourself from. You might say, Christy, why are you so worked up about this? Calm down. It's because of this. Like that video showed, it's frustrating enough being Mauritian, having to explain to people where Mauritius is, what Mauritius is. I usually go back to the 1700s and start with a full history of Mauritius because you will inevitably have people who will tell you who you are or what you are.
So yes, as you can see, our sister is talking about how citizens of Mauritius, the state of Mauritius, doesn't want to align with the African continent. And my sister, the only thing I will tell you is that do not blame them. Don't blame our people when they don't want to align with our continent. It's just natural. Nobody wants to be on the losing side. Today, all over the world, if you see the way and manner Africans are being treated, who want to be treated like that? Nobody. It's just natural. So yes, it is very unfortunate. It's very sad to see Africans. And my sister, don't be surprised. Do not be surprised. It is not only in Mauritius, the whole continent of Africa, people are denying their Africanness. I am telling you, it is very unfortunate. It is hard to talk about, but that is our sad reality. In Ghana, people are claiming to be coming from Israel. They are Israelis. They are people in Ghana are claiming to be Arabs coming from Saudi Arabia. People in Nigeria, the last time I was in a group, they kicked me out of that group. A brother who is a Yoruba people are one people who hold the original indigenous African tradition, culture. But he was telling me that it is all rubbish. All their culture is nothing because they came from Saudi Arabia. And it's the same thing with our people, our Igbo brothers. They claim to be coming from Israel. Not only them, Congo, wherever. We are denying ourselves as African people. We are not proud to be Africans. Why? Because of the condition of our race. Because of the condition of Africa. So if we want to see Africans or people, black people or Africans being proud to call themselves African, then we must work to make Africa better. That is the only way. If Africa is better, everybody, even our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, our brothers and sisters in America, our brothers and sisters in our black brothers and sisters in Britain, in Europe, who are saying I am African, our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean who are saying me not African, they will all be proud to call themselves Africans. Because everywhere in the world you find a white European, even if he has lived in Africa for 100 years, for 1,000 years, they still want to call themselves Europeans because Europe is doing good. Everywhere in the world you see Chinese, wherever they found themselves, they're still proud to call themselves Chinese because today China is doing good. But only in Africa, that citizens of Africa doesn't want to call themselves Africans. The last time I watched a documentary in Eritrea, our brothers and some of our brothers and sisters in Eritrea they were saying that they are from Italy because an Italian for 200-300 years ago came to rape his grandmother, and then because he has fair complexion, he still think that Italy is his home, even though for generations he came from Africa. And not only them, a lot of examples I can give. So yes, it is very unfortunate, it is very sad, but that is our sad reality because of the condition of Africa. So my sister, we thank you for being passionate to see yourself as African, but do not blame those who are not seeing themselves to be Africans. Because of the condition of Africa, a lot of even Bantu Africans don't want to ally themselves. I said I have a friend who is from Somalia. He always wants to tell me that he's Arab. His ancestors came from Oman. And I said to him, an Arabian came from Oman to rape your grandmother in Somalia 400 years ago or 700 years ago, and today you still want to call yourself Arabian because of the condition of Africa. If Africa was to be like America, if Africa was to be like Europe, all those people you see want to be Europeans, they want to be French, they want to be Italians, they want to be blah, blah, boom, boom. They will all want to see themselves as Africans. So what can me and you do to make Africa the goal that it is? It deserves to be, so that children of Africa will not be running away and will not be calling themselves what they are not. Let us unite Africa. Let us give Africa the strength that it deserves, so that children of Africa will be proud. As I said, even Bantu Africans in West Africa, most of them are saying they are from Saudi Arabia. I know a lot of them, from Dagomba people to Igbo people to Ashanti people to Akan people to Yoruba people. A lot of them, they are saying 12 tribe of Israel. They are saying they are from, it's very unfortunate. It's so pathetic, our situation. But you cannot blame them. As I said, the only way we will bring an end to that, so that future generations will be proud to see themselves or to call themselves Africans, is to unite the continent of Africa. So please join our mission. If you haven't joined the mission, our mission is One Africa Mission. The number one Africa mission. Unity. So that united we stand, divided we fall. If we stand together, we will make Africa an enviable nation, so that other countries or citizens of Africa will be running home and be proud to call themselves Africans. Until we do that, we will continue to see what our people in the state of Mauritius are doing. They'll be denying themselves to be Africans. But a message to them: anybody living in Africa who doesn't want to be African, or who is not proud to call himself African, should leave Africa. Please, leave Africa. If you are in Africa and you are not proud to call yourself African, then please leave Africa for those who want to call themselves African. Because we are sick and tired of people living in Africa and want to call themselves Arabians, Somalis, Egyptians, North Africa, West Africa. If you are in any part of Africa and you are not proud to see yourself as African, then please leave the continent of Africa. Go wherever you want to be. and leave the continent for those who want to be proud of, to call themselves Africans. Thank you very much for coming around, please. This is your brother Dobia Anzanse. Join our mission. I am a missionary. I belong to a missionary group, and our mission is all about the unification of the continent of Africa and the dignity of the African race. Thank you very much for coming around. Please join our mission. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, One African Mission. Together, we will make Africa stronger and better for the next generation of Africans.